All right, there we go. All right, hopefully this starts working here. All right, what's up, Kenny? It looks like
What's up, man? What's up?
there might be a little delay here on your camera, just because the OBS is acting silly.
Okay, okay. I'm just checking
Oh
the monitor, make sure
goodness.
everything is as good as it can be.
Yeah, let's give it a second here before I have to restart this. All right, let's see what's happening. Oh, come on, OBS. It's one of those mornings. What's going on? Strange, strange things for coming through.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the emotes, all that. Is that
Jesus.
Wood Harris on the starting screen? I don't know. Where'd you get the image on the starting screen?
I don't know. I created it. I mean, it might be Wood Harris. I don't know. I found it somewhere. God knows where I found it.
Okay, okay. Well, what's been going
Actually,
on?
no,
How's
I
your
got it from a uh Canvas. It's like a studio, an app thing.
mm-hmm.
It looks like OBS is tripping though. I might have to restart the show, man.
Is it still doing? Let me see what it sounds like on the monitor side.
How's it look on your
OBS.
side?
I do look like I'm moving around. Yeah, I'm moving back and forth like crazy.
Yeah, it's being stupid. I don't know what's going on here.
Hold on, let me you keep it up. Let me make sure it's not my cam right quick.
Well, no, because you look good through Video Ninja. So it's OBS is acting stupid.
Refresh my asset then.
No, it's OBS that's acting stupid.
Yeah,
OBS,
yeah.
the app is giving me the circle of death here. So I'm gonna have to restart it maybe.
Oh, okay, if you want to do that, that's fine.
All right. We're gonna come back, Strange. We'll be back.
Yeah, I look like Max Headroom.
Yeah. Facebook, Kick, and yeah, that's it. And YouTube.
All right, I'm waiting to see if YouTube pops back over because it's still buffering on my side.
All right, we're back.
All right, we're back.
All right, cool. Sorry about that, people who've been watching. We had an error. Anyway, let's jump right into the show here, man. Jay Z, bruh. All right, so Jay Z has been caught up in the Diddy nonsense, and
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
allegedly in 2000 at the MTVMAs, a cupcake. That's what they're saying now on YouTube. A cupcake showed up to the VMAs trying to get in. She went from limousine to limousine. That's what they're calling them because they can't say the age because YouTube will flag the show. Yeah, so you can't even say what her age is. So a
Are you
cupcake,
serious?
yes. YouTube's restrictions is crazy now, man.
Okay, continue. This is something new to
You
me,
can
but continue.
This is crazy. You can be a Nazi on YouTube and not get kicked off of there. But if you are a progressive or you're talking about like this stuff, you can literally get canceled on YouTube. It is crazy what's allowed on YouTube. So a cupcake showed up to the VMAs in 2000, couldn't get in. She was a cupcake, went from limousine to limousine supposedly, asking for people to get her into the VMAs, ran into some so-called driver, and I say so-called because this story sounds crazy to me. He said, I can't get you into VMAs, but you are Diddy's type, so I can get you to his party at his house. Here's the problem though. Diddy didn't have a house. That night he was at a club with J Lo, and Jay Z wasn't at that club. So she's claiming that Jay Z and Diddy raped her at a house party for which neither of them were at.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Yeah,
I
that's why I was
mean,
like, hold up, this is gonna fall apart. Like the first thing Jay Z said was, if that's true, then you need to bring a criminal case against me. Then suddenly yesterday when I was watching TV, a YouTuber pulled up. He said, well, we can Google where Jay Z was on that day. And he wasn't
mhm.
with Diddy. But you know who was with Diddy? J Lo. And there's video and photos of him and her at a club getting into an argument and then going home. And Jay Z wasn't at that party. And he didn't have a house. She said that she was taken to a house with a winding road, and that Jay-Z and Diddy had raped her at the house.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, off the rip. I think a lot of things are just coming into play because even with this, it was filed as a civil lawsuit, not a criminal
Mm-hmm.
lawsuit. And I think that's why Jay Z made a statement. It's like, if this happened, one, unnamed the Jane Doe, and two, why aren't you doing a criminal a case against me instead of a civil? And in his statement, I think he claimed it as like a shakedown and all these things. That is the part where it's going to get weird. Because if somebody had, and it's going to get weird because, well, two things. One, somebody could have been in a situation that still would need some justice, some law. Even if it was the most minor SA thing or whatever, you should come forth and say, "Hey, this would happen to me, and I have proof that it happened." Then you're going to get the other group of people, potentially like this person, who is just going to make up some allegation and just hope that it's just muddy enough and just so far away enough and just so ingrained in everything that the court of public opinion is thinking, that they're just going to run with it and automatically assume it's the truth. The best thing that can happen is, as long as the investigators, the prosecutors, the defendants, and everybody, even the defendant and the plaintiffs, well, not the plaintiff, but the defendant, is doing their proper job to prove full blown innocent.
Mm-hmm.
But then it comes to the time of what happens to these people that make these allegations and they get found to be untrue.
Yeah, it's very interesting and it's very confusing because here's the conflict, right? So the other part of this is Mr. Busby has a lot of allegations against him for untoward behavior towards his clients. So, for instance, one story where a client got into an accident while the court case was going on. The the Busby team put a kind of an action against the corporation. So the corporation had to pay this individual while he was out of work. While he was out of work, yeah, while he out of work, the money that was supposed to go to him goes directly to the law office, and the law office is supposed to give it to him. Mr. Busby was making this dude, he was loaning this guy his own money, and he was loaning him his own money at a high interest rate. Yo, that shit crazy. So
That's
he
crazy.
Busby has a legal action against him. Then, as these allegations were coming out, another woman had an SA allegation that had nothing to do with Diddy or Jay Z. And when she went into, allegedly, when she went into their office to confront, to bring, an action against the individuals who did the essay, they were trying to get her to say that it was Diddy, so they could add her to the Diddy case. The problem is, this is what, and what Jay Z said is what happens a lot of times. He says what happens is there'll be these high profile people, and they don't want to deal with the situation, so they just settle it.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't going to do that. He said, "I'm from the hood. I'm from the streets. I ain't about to settle this. Like this, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
put me in jail, or we're gonna go all the way with this. But I ain't paying nobody no money, you know."
Okay.
But when the photos came out and the video came out of Diddy and her at some club with like hundreds of other celebrities, and that him and her got into a heated argument and immediately left the club.
Wait, are you referencing J Lo or are you
J
referencing
Lo
the Jane
and
Doe?
Diddy, because the woman says that there was for one thing, she amended the order. So when we
Mm-hmm.
originally placed her allegations, it was just Diddy. Then suddenly Jay Z, she later on amended it saying Jay Z was there. See, that's what I don't understand. If you're gonna say Diddy is there, the same level of conflict is gonna be if you said Jay Z was there. Why would you months later amend it and put his name in there?
Because maybe you're shooting for the fact that he doesn't want to go through all this rigmarole. He know he's tied to Diddy in some way. Maybe he'll just give me whatever of a little bit and just be done with it, settle out of. But it sounds like Jay Z was like, I know I wasn't there. Let's take this all the way.
Yeah, so I
But
started
and
googling to see where Jay Z was, because the other question is Jay Z really didn't go to the music awards because he was protesting them. Remember Jay Z? He
yeah,
was
Jay
like,
Z
if y'all ain't
genuinely.
gonna give rap the
Mm,
the uh, album of the year, I ain't coming to your show. So I looked up, I couldn't even find him Like I couldn't find photos of him at the MTV Awards. I mean, maybe it was there, but I
Yeah.
couldn't find anything. So the other
No,
question
that's.
is, was he even there at the MTV Awards? Because at that time he had already said he ain't going to the music awards anymore. I think the
And I
last time
think
I
that's kind of the catch is between Jay-Z does have a thing where he boycotts the awards if he doesn't feel that they are honoring hip hop the right way. Now that is not to say that he go to the area and attend any other parties with his
yeah
celebrity friends or anything like that. So that will be, but I know generally outside of recent times, Jay-Z usually boycotts the awards because he hates the fact that they never televise any of the hip hop awards except for like maybe best rap album and outside of all the other awards that all the other shows get. Now, was he in LA at the time or in New York, wherever they have it at? Who knows? But then the question is, if there are actual photos and pictures that Diddy was there, the A-list celebrity of J-Lo at the time was there, and the purported victim was there, then yeah, why did you go back and all of a sudden try to throw this person in other than you just trying to fish to see if you can get anything of anything? But you may have poked the wrong person and they like, nah, fuck this. We taking it to trial. So I don't know. Oh, one thing, you don't have your virtual camera on. I can't see you. So just so you know.
Oh, let me go ahead and start the picture. My bad. My bad. My bad. It should be seen now.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, so yeah, I don't have a lot more to say. But you know who has something to say? Fitty.
Yes. Well, 50 always has something to say. So, if most people don't know, 50 Cent, he always had bad, I don't want to say like bad blood,
Bad
but
blood. He has bad blood.
I don't really want to say bad blood. It's that 50 has a certain way of going about things. If anybody remembers 50 Cent when he first came in the career, in a hip hop career, he was battling Jay-Z, or as in made diss songs about Jay-Z. Jay-Z made diss songs about 50, so on and so forth. But the one person that 50 has never liked and always said was weird was Diddy. 50 has never held his tongue about it. 50 was like, yeah, that nigga does some weird shit. 50 has always said that. 50 has never said that about Jay-Z. It was more just a rap battle beef with him and Jay-Z. But the one thing that 50 did bring up, because he was just out in California, he was on Big Boy's Neighborhood on the radio. Big Boy asked him about certain things about how do you feel about Diddy, what's going on with this. And just to summarize it a little bit, 50 thinks that Diddy is, which I'll use in the new world era of cooked, just because 50 says like, no, I know things about Diddy and I ain't never, and he goes, if it's not all true, some of the more critical things that are true will still be where he's gonna get held up and basically gonna be fucked. With the Jay-Z thing, it was more of Jay-Z's business alignment with the NFL. And 50 is thinking that this may be, unfortunately, the last time that the NFL is going to allow the shine of hip hop artists, especially because Jay-Z was basically the kind of ambassador for the NFL for hip hop. That's the reason we've been getting all these hip hop acts as of late compared to previously where it's mostly like a
I
pop
doubt
or a
that
rock.
though. I doubt
Well,
that
that's some of
happened.
the things that I just seen a news article earlier today. I didn't get a chance to read it, where Robert Goodell, the commissioner for the NFL, he was asked, and I didn't get a chance to read it. I should have read it right before we came on. But I think that is something that's in the air that they're kind of discussing. But I think it also has to depend on how this is all going to turn out. And so that's one of the things that is just something to pay attention to and see. But in my opinion, if it all plays out to where these allegations are false and his name is clean, then everything should go forward. And I would respect and understand if any of these allegations are proven to be
So
true,
I'll
particularly
read
with
you
the
what
connection to
Roger
Jay Z.
Goodell said. Roger
Okay, what do you
Goodell says yes, the NFL is aware of allegations versus Jay Z, but from our standpoint, our relationship is not changing. So there you go.
All right, so that's the most current that they're saying. Their allegations are not, the current allegations are not changing any stance that Jay Z has with being basically the
Ambassador
connection with the music
or
ambassador for
the
the hip hop and
representative
everything that's
of
going on.
music. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's that. So we good right there. Uh, did you want to say anything else about 50 Cent before we bounce?
Oh no. Well, the only thing I would say is 50 Cent is a troll. He is like the anti-villain of hip hop because he has his own beefs and issues with everybody. But 50 Cent every once in a while says some interesting things, and you'd kind of be like, and that's
It's
how it
funny to see
goes.
the game over his left shoulder there, or his right shoulder, depending on what we're
Oh
looking
yeah.
at.
Well, Game LA, Big Boy. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
they
just
made
funny
that
that
beef.
50 Cent sitting in the front there and the game's over the background throwing up West Coast.
Yeah. So, but 50 is
Ah, you
50.
gotta love
50,
it.
50 is an awesome troll on the internet. So he's good at what he does. 50 is slightly a bully too, but at
Yeah.
least he bullies people that of his stature. And some of the things he says is you think twice about everything. So, and he's petty too. So, but he's petty not like Drake petty. He's petty only to Ja Rule, really though. But that is what it is. But that's all I
Yeah,
gotta
he
say
never
about 50.
answered that question too, because they asked him, why why haven't you settled the beef with Ja Rule? You settled the beef with Fat Joe and these other
Mm-hmm.
artists, but not Ja Rule. And then he just went on to say that talked about the ops for Drake. So I never understood like what was he was like, well, look at Drake, he got all these ops. And I said, was he trying to say that Ja Rule's an op? Because Ja Rule ain't thinking about 50 like that.
No, Ja Rule thinks about 50. Ja Rule thinks about 50. They have actually like real street stuff that was even before they were even rappers too. Though that's kind of the big thing behind them, and they involve actual violence and stuff. So that's a little. Now they're both well known. They're both rappers. They're both famous. 50 probably has more money than Ja Rule, but 50 basically. This is one of the most fucked up things that happened, and this is a couple of years ago. Basically, 50 bought all the first like 5 front row seats of a Ja Rule concert just for there was nobody to sit there. Just
That's
cause.
crazy.
But that's like the rich petty beef that them two have always been at for almost ever. And so it would make sense that like if this is a real person that I don't like, then there's really nothing for me to say. I don't know why he threw the Drake thing in there, but I know 50 and Ja Rule, they have a long history. 50 and Jay-Z, that's more of just like rap competition, beef, and everything. So it's not necessarily the same. But 50 in the Diddy situation, now 50 always said Diddy was weird. Always. There's interviews where he says it. So
Good to go. Let's go jump right into the gaming awards.
yeah, so this popped off yesterday actually. I caught little bits and pieces of it. I'm not necessarily a gamer. I play video games, but I'm not a big gamer. So some of the I'm trying to pull up the actual article that I had
I
already
got
looked
the
up.
winners where you want to talk
Yeah, that's
about
basically
like
what I wanted to go
particular
down to see
games.
if we knew any of these games and everything,
All right, so
or
I'm
what
happy
we do.
Black Muth Wukong got the I guess the Player Voice Award. They really should have got Game of the Year. Uh, Black Myth Wukong is a game changer. This game really changes everything. Uh, so one of the things I talked about on our gaming channel is how the political behavior of Americans is undermining the gaming world. It has direct implications to it. You hear these gamers complain about the casinoism of video games, how developers and coders are not being paid. Yet then you guys go and you vote for political representatives who literally undermine those types of people. You say that you want video games where it's fun and the developers are well taken care of and they don't have to work these crazy hours. And then you vote for like a Trump who puts in place Elon Musk, who is an anti-employer. Trump is anti-employee. And I was trying to explain to them, like, do you know how distributed properties work? Like, if you do one thing to a part of the equation, yeah, it has effects on the other part of the equation. If you continue to say it's okay for corporations to do whatever they want to the American people, you're talking about the American people. These same people make video games. One of the issues right now is people complaining about Call of Duty Black Ops and all of the nonsense around it. And I'm like, well, you guys are literally saying every time you guys vote that you don't give a damn about the coders or the developers. You're saying do what you want to them, as long as you are able to, you know, uh, do the bidding of our bigotry and our hatred towards some people, then it's okay what you do to the American people. And I'm like, these
So
developers and these gamers are the people. They're living under the same strains as everyone else. If they can't afford to eat and they can't leverage their rights as a developer against the corporation, you're going to keep getting these games.
So I
What's
guess my
this? Go
question, just
ahead.
because you said something that I'm not aware of, so what is the issue that people have with the Black Ops game? What is the
It's
real
the
thing?
same.
Because
It's the
I see a
same
lot of people
issue.
play it.
It's the same issue every year. It's the casinoism of the game. It's
But isn't
the
that like the whole model that and this goes across the line to like just the subscription deal that most things have now? Isn't this the whole thing? We're going to give you a game. It's going to be free to play. However, if you want these things in the game, you're going to have to do some type of realistic monetary exchange outside of you really having to grind
oh,
to get whatever it
absolutely.
is.
They're complaining about that, but they are the ones to be blamed for it, is what I've been saying. I said, you guys, when you exercise your vote, when you say what is okay in your community, you're also saying that's okay in the products that come. Like it's not in a vacuum. Like these things aren't developed in a vacuum. So why is Black Wukong so important? When was the last time a game came out of China that was better than any American game?
So and that's kind of like the thing.
It's changed. Like the world of gaming is about to change. Like I think this
Okay.
game right here has set is a shot at American developers where they've been all about monetizing and getting richer. And then Black Wukong comes out, has none of that casinoism. It is a beautiful game. It has a totally different culture. It's not playing up to white people, putting them in the front saying, hey, we want you to play our game. They're like, nah, we're Chinese. You're going to play our game and you're going to love it. And this game
Okay.
is brilliant. It is it is a beautiful, worldly, cultured, fun game. Has none of that monetization that American games have. It's exactly the opposite of American games. And we're going to get to a point where China is developing more games that people want to play than American developers are because the Americans have literally said, you don't have to respect the rights of the employee. You can do what you want to them. You can compromise their lives. They can barely eat. That's not a problem. Like if you
All right.
can't, and that's what I was trying to say to these gamers who were complaining. I said, all you guys complaining, 90% of y'all voted for Trump. So don't tell me you want good games. Don't tell me you care about the developers because you don't care about your neighbor. You don't care about the individual next door to you. You don't care about anybody but yourself and your own bias. So don't come to me talking about you want good games. Now
But
you look in
isn't
the
the
comment
point of them
section.
playing the
I want
game?
good
Well,
games. Go
I
ahead.
want to
What's
say
up?
this. I would say, isn't the point of them having games is for the escapism from whatever reality that they actually have to live in? If you are not, rich and wealthy, you at least want to escape to a game to where you can do whatever you want in GTA RP, or you can go into the fantasy realm of Black Myth Wukong, and you can do anything else you want over there. I mean, and then my last statement, and this is just something that popped in my head when you said it because you were drifting towards the political angle. How do the tariffs that are going to be imposed work on digital media? I wonder how that's going to work. So just
I
something.
don't know. I mean, look, tariffs work the same way. If there are going to be tariffs on digital media, we're going to be the ones that pay it. Like people don't understand how tariffs work. The stuff is already paid for. I bought 80,000 vacuums, and those vacuums are paid for. There's no tariff added to it. When it gets to the country, and I
Hmm.
send people to pick it up, they're gonna like, here's the bill. There's a tariff on this. You gotta
Yeah.
pay that bill to get your shit. So like, what if like American people act like they don't understand how tariffs work? Like there is no
Well,
way. Go ahead.
my thing is, since you are angling it towards this is a game out of China, and this game is groundbreaking and gamer world changing. When they gonna want the Black Myth Wukong 2 or whatever else that comes out, do you think they're gonna have a quote unquote sticker shock about wait a minute, this game is this much now? Do I really want to play this? Or do you
I
think it's
think
gonna be
it's not physical media. I think you could only put tariffs on physical stuff.
okay?
So
I'm just
like
I was just
a
asking.
picture and stuff like that, you can't put a tariff on that. Like digital stuff can't be tariffed because it's just you could just exchange that. So it's just not going to happen. But I understand what you're saying. The tariffs is not where the conflict is. When it comes to American products, they're going to get worse because the individuals who are working in that situation are like, look, perfect example. If you say to a corporation, the only thing that matters is growth, then why would I develop something that isn't going to add more money to my pocket? What you're going to do is you're going to develop something that adds more money to your pocket. That's what you're going to do. You're going to say, well, I'm going to prioritize casinoism. Like, if I can create a game that is just a circle and you throw your dollars in there, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to develop anything unique. And because
Yeah.
gamers are so fragile as they are right now, I mean, good God, are they fragile? Like, I'm always laughing at them in the comment section. Not my video so much, but other people's videos. Because my videos are a lot more conscious. So when I write something, when I do a video, it's a lot more like, smarter people are watching my stuff. I'm just gonna be honest. Like the stuff I do, there are more intelligent people gonna respond to it. But for the most part, you got a lot of gamers who are just about controversy and conflict, and so they whatever imagined slight they can jump on, they jump on it, and then individuals jump in the comment section complaining. But I'm like, this stuff is not created in a vacuum. Everything's political. Every choice you make is a political choice. Whether you're gonna drink orange juice or apple juice, you might
Yeah.
not think that's a political choice, but it's political. Everything you're doing is a whether you like this or don't like this. It's considered a political decision because you're looking at it and you're weighing all these differences, and you're saying what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. So if you don't like pulp and you don't have orange juice that doesn't have pulp in it, you ain't gonna drink it.
All right. So outside of everything you make a decision to political, there was decisions made on who were the winners. Do you want to run down the list of the winners?
All right, game of the year was Astrobot. I disagree with that. I don't know
I
how
don't even know
Sony
that game.
got Astrobot in there as game of the year. No one, I mean, there's like what 10 people playing on the PlayStation 5 now, whatever. Then you got Black Myth Rukon and Player's Voice. So that should have been the game of the year. Then you got Content Creator of the Year, Case O. I'm not familiar with this individual. Then Balatro, Local Thunk, Play Stack, mobile game. I'm not familiar with that game either. Helldivers 2 is an ongoing game. It got an award because Helldivers 2 is on PlayStation 5, and I guess a lot of people really like that game. Then Balatro got another independent game, which is that once more it's a mobile game. Then Astrobot got Studio Game Direction. Then Asobi, it got 2 awards for Studio Game Direction. Then Metaphor Refantazio got Narrative Game of the Year. Then League of Legends got Esport Game of the Year. Helldivers 2 got Multiplayer Game of the Year, which is interesting because I'm not playing that game. That's interesting. A game that's only
It's
played
only
on.
interesting because you're not playing it.
Yeah, I'm not playing that game, so that's interesting. There's no way they could have got an award if I was. I would. I'm just surprised by that. Then Grand Theft Auto got most. See, this is weird. Anticipated game award is Grand Theft
Okay.
Auto, which I will play when it comes out.
I think that is an anticipated game. I remember when that trailer dropped for Grand Theft Auto, and everybody was like, "Oh!" and it had all the real world like scenario things that was taking place. So I
Did you
can
ever play
understand
Grand
that.
Theft Auto?
Oh, long time ago,
Yeah,
the
same
old
here.
ones.
The old ones, yeah. So then
I
Map
tried to get
Black
into
Myth.
playing
Go
GTA
ahead.
RP. No, I was saying
Yeah.
I was trying to get into playing GTA RP, but I got to understand all the little lingo that a lot of people have in there, and I watch a lot of the clips on YouTube just because it's entertaining.
Talking about like the RP, like people role playing it.
Yeah, people that roleplay. But I haven't played Grand Theft Auto since shit. What is it? I almost want to say what was right before San Andreas,
Oh, I don't remember. The
but I
only
think
last one
Grand
I
Theft
played
Auto
was
is going
San
to be highly
Andreas.
anticipated.
So then
Which
Black
one
Myth
did Mike play?
Rukon. We say?
Which one did Mike play?
Oh, I do not know. You have to ask him, man.
All right.
Black Myth Rukon got action game. Metaphor Retanzio got role playing game. Metaphor Fantasio got art direction. Faker got esport player game. Neva got games of for Impact. family game was Astrobot. Tekken 8 was a fighting game, got an award. Baldur's Gate 3 got community support. Astrobot got another award. Balatro got another award. Melina Jurgens got performance for her role in Hellblade. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth got soundtrack award. That's one of the games I never did care for. I never was a fan of Final Fantasy. EA Sports uh, FC Racing got sport racing game. Then you got Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown, got innovation and accessibility, so that's good. Then Batman Arkham Shadow VR game. That's the one I think that came out with the meta.
Yes, I remember seeing the commercials for that.
And then T1 got esports team award. So there you go. That's the gaming awards for this year.
2024. And honestly, I have not heard of Astro, whatever it's called. I might have to go look at it and see what it's like and see if anybody got any cool videos on it or anything, but I've never heard that. Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy VII, the Batman game, Helldivers, I've heard of those. Tekken, most of the games I've heard of except for that Astro game, and it apparently took home a lot of awards, and I've never heard of that game.
Yeah, Sony paid for that because I just don't agree. And then we got Secret Level. So while we're in gaming, so Secret Level is an anthology series on Prime, and I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really good. And the one that really made me go look up stuff was the one for Warhammer. I didn't know there was such crazy lore in the Warhammer story. I remember my uncle saying that me and my girl would like playing Warhammer if we like playing Gears of War. But there's so many games I already have on my console that I got to play. Like, I got to start the Indiana Jones so I can talk about it on the gaming channel. And I hadn't even started that yet because Cyberpunk came out with an update and I had to go do a whole video and stuff on that.
So Secret Level, a revolutionary gaming anthology series. So are they just breaking down each individual game and giving all the lore behind everyone?
No, so what it is, it's Secret Level. So you know how in video games, secret levels are like these little parts in the game that you got to do something specific to get into to see it, right? Mm-hmm. It's not long, it's short. It's like these short little stories. And so Secret Level is like, this is a secret level inside of a video game. So these short little stories. And I think it's really good. It's made by the guys from that robot show on Netflix.
Robot show on Netflix.
Yeah, there's like Evil Robot or whatever. And they have all these short stories about robots. Or they just have these short stories, animated CGI stories on Netflix. They're really good. If you've never seen it, you're missing out. I don't know how you missed it. Okay. Very good stuff. I love it. Okay. And so these same developers, these same creators and directors created Secret Level for Prime. And it's 8 different anthology series. And all of them I thought was really good. You know, the criticism that people are giving is because they don't understand what this is. It's anthology, short little stories. Mm-hmm. They're just short little stories that get you to be more interested in the system. Go ahead.
So off the rip of not being a person that is a gamer, what story would I recognize off the bat? Or is there any one that I would recognize off the bat?
I think maybe Warhammer, you might. Warhammer,
yeah, I've heard of that.
There's a D&D story at the very beginning, so you might get that as D&D. What else? I mean, there's Warhammer, D&D. There's a Destiny-like one. I think it's Destiny.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I out of those 3 you name, I do know enough about them to understand, like, oh, okay, this is what is going on with. Oh, while we're on this real quick, Secret Level, did you ever complete the Secret Room on Cyberpunk 2077?
I haven't restarted to play again. The moment I was had to restart it, they had that new update, so I had to play the new update. I haven't started it yet, so I'm gonna do a new replay through. Once I'm working on the video right now. Like I'm halfway through the intro of the new video for the new update 2.2 for Cyberpunk 2077. So I have it right here. I was gonna start working on it today, and then yeah, that's what it is. And then I was just doing stuff for. I did a video for Call of Duty, talking. You know, people are complaining. I did a video talking about the game was just really balanced. Because there's a controversy in Call of Duty about SBMM and EOMM. What it really comes down to in Call of Duty is that now, if you're a really good player, you're put into categories with other really good players, and they're complaining. What they're saying is, I should be able to be in a lobby with noobs so I can take advantage of them. And I'm like, do you hear yourself? Like, do you
But
hear
isn't
what you're
that the whole
saying?
thing that I think from even when I'm kind of getting aware of is they complain about matchmaking in lobbies, but I'm like, isn't the thing of matchmaking to give everybody that chance? From you're gonna have the noobs who are on the outer spectrum of the end that if they get lucky they can battle up and finish closer to the middle, but then in the middle you got the two best players that just happen to be only two in the lobby. So you still got to have your counter. You can't be the one best player in the lobby because you got to defeat the other best player in the lobby. Isn't that logical in the sense of gaming or
Well, no,
fairness?
because what
Or
they've done, so for instance in Halo, it was skill-based matchmaking. So if you were really good in Halo, you got put into matchmaking with other really good players. But
that's
you
what I
didn't
would think.
get you rarely ever was in a lobby unless you were playing with somebody else, which they call two boxing. But it's not. It's just playing with one of your friends who maybe not as good as you are. So like me and
Mhm.
Mike used to play all the time. So me and Mike were always in the same lobbies, but I probably was not as good as Mike when I first started playing. So
Mhm.
I would end up being in his lobbies. So I got
Mhm.
better, you know. So what they're
Yeah.
complaining about is that now they've really put an emphasis on skill-based matchmaking in Black Ops 6. And so before, where you had you would get into a lobby where you could just decimate everybody, that's very rare because they put
Mhm.
noobs into lobbies with noobs,
Yeah.
and they put good people into lobbies with good people.
But
And what's
no,
go ahead,
I guess that's what I'm missing because to me that makes sense. Why would you just want to play a game where you repeatedly win at?
Doc? The question is, why do you think you should be in a lobby with people who don't know how to play so you can take advantage of them?
That's the same thing. I mean, we're saying
Yeah,
the
that's
same
what I'm
thing. I
saying.
think you're
I
just
don't
saying it
get
this
it.
way. I'm
They're
saying
like, oh, I don't. It's too hard. I don't want to be in a lobby with people as good as me. I'm like, dude, do you hear yourself?
yeah, that makes no sense to me.
That
I
makes no
mean,
sense to me.
but all right. But all
Yeah,
right, so
man, it's crazy.
secret level.
I give
I'm
it a
gonna try
10
to
out
check
of
it out.
10. I enjoyed it.
You
If
give
you
it all
haven't
right, 10
watched
out of
it,
10.
check it out. Now, of course, IGN gave it a 5, and I don't understand what they're measuring. IGN is just weird. And if you're a mouth breather and you don't understand what anthology means short stories. So these stories about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, some of them are even shorter. Some are like 5, 6 minutes. But they're good. Warhammer 1 made me want to go play Warhammer.
Oh, okay.
Cause it was so weird. I was like, hold up, what? This is Warhammer? Cause like my uncle told me to play it, and I thought it was just like Gears of War. But
Hmm.
Warhammer is weird. Warhammer has like demons. It also has these weird creatures, and it's all this different lore. It has aliens, all
Yeah.
put into
Warhammer is
this
the
story.
Marines, the Space Marine one, right? The Space
Yeah,
Marines. I
Space
think
Marines.
they just recently came out with a game not too long ago.
Yeah, it's Warhammer 40K. But
There you go.
it's a game that's been out for. I mean, there's a bunch of versions of Warhammer,
Mhm.
and I guess Henry Cavill is a big fan of Warhammer, and he's been playing it forever. And they just greenlit a Warhammer TV show.
Oh, really? Okay. So that's a new little spinoff. Cool.
Yeah, so
And
I'm looking forward to seeing that. If it's lore, if it's connected to the lore, dude, I had to go and watch a whole video on the lore just to understand what I was seeing because it didn't make any sense to me.
okay. And before we move on, this is a little joke. Why the dude at the end of this thing kind of look like me?
Oh my god, yeah,
The dude with the beard.
dude
Yeah.
from D&D.
Yeah. I just thought that was kind of funny. Just an observation. Self
Yeah, that's
awareness.
hilarious. All right, we're gonna jump to our last thing here and talk about Silo. So, if you haven't been watching Silo on Apple TV, I suggest you jump on. I think this is a good season. It is very interesting what's going on. What we've learned so far is that the outside world is bad. Like you do die when you go outside, and Bernard was right for trying to keep people from going outside and taking the decisions that he's taking. And he wasn't really making decisions on his own. He was going off of a document that told him how to behave to protect and conserve the silo. But here's
Mm-hmm.
something I learned in the stories. So in the books, so in the silo books, there are
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of silos. But really, there's only one silo that's considered viable. And then also, the people in the silo one, I guess silo one is like the main silo, can kill off other silos. Like literally just kill them,
Okay.
murder them. And so it's a crazy situation. Like, I guess there was some disaster on Earth,
So
and
it's determined that they are on Earth.
they are on Earth. Yes, this is
Okay.
Earth.
Okay.
So this is Earth, and there was some disaster, and the most powerful people came up with this plan to build these things in the ground, and then they put themselves in particular in silo one, and then gave themselves this like mind poison that makes you forget the past. Yeah, it's crazy. And then
And
some
these are
of
the
them,
books. This is yeah, because none of this is in the TV show. This
none
is
of
all
this is in
books.
the TV show.
Yeah, this is all books.
But
Okay.
the question is some of this stuff's going to start bleeding over into the TV show? Because one of the
Okay.
questions is this individual right here with the heterochromic eyes?
Mm-hmm.
The question is, he tells these stories. He's inside the vault. He shouldn't be there. How did he get into the vault in that silo? Because he has the mind of like a 11-year old or a 10-year old.
Okay.
So he definitely wasn't someone's shadow like he said he was. And also, on the last episode, our girl here saw him put in the code. So is she gonna try to get inside there to figure out what's going on? So it's all kind of crazy. Anyway, with
Okay.
that said, I'm about to go watch the next episode of that.
All
You want
right.
to take us
Well,
out of the show, bro?
I think I'm going to if I'm trying to move on in it, I need to start watching it earlier in the daytime instead of watching it like right before I'm getting ready
But I
to go to
told you what to
bed.
do. Turn it on, put some headphones on, open the window, and stand outside in the cold. You'll get through the show.
I don't know. I don't know. The only thing I will add is Squid Games is getting ready to come back, and that's my show, so I can't wait for Squid Games. And then we'll hopefully we'll throw it in something about that. But I'm gonna try to check out Secret Level. If I can push through the episode I'm behind on Silo and get caught up to speed. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything for today.
Cool. All right,
Cool.
guys.
Uh,
Thanks for
with that
coming
being
through.
said, thank you for coming through. Shout out to anybody who popped in on Kick. Shout out to Strange Strain for coming through. Shout out to anybody over on Facebook, anybody that stopped by over on Twitch. Please come over to YouTube. Give us a follow on YouTube. It's free. We're trying to get our numbers back up. This is a little change of pace from what we were doing before. But hopefully, if y'all got any ideas, criticism, anything, leave it in the comments of the YouTube video below. Please hit that like button. Thank y'all for being here. I am Kenny with Dianoia.
And this is Darrell. And see you guys on the next one. Let's see if this will actually change because it's. All right. OBS is acting weird again. I might have to shut it all down. All right.
Oh yeah, it is doing that weird shit. Make me look like
Yep.
a robot again.